Welcome to the Red Carpet Report, your backstage pass to celebrity book clubs, book adaptations, and new book releases. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Kirsten.
And we're your hosts.
Today's episode is a plot twist where we are going to go deep into some grief novels. But before we do that, we've got the Red Carpet Rundown.
And there are some great ones this week.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm very excited about something that's coming to PBS.
I know what it is.
We have The Count of Monte Cristo. It is coming to PBS. It was previously recorded, but I think it was done overseas. So now it's coming to PBS, and it's going to be a mini series. So I'm so excited for this one.
I love when Masterpiece Theater does something because you just know it's going to be excellent. This is the home of like Downton Abbey and Victoria. They know what they are doing when they do these Masterpiece Theater shows. And this one stars Sam Claflin, known for Daisy Jones fame, at least known to me for Daisy Jones fame. It comes out on March 22nd, so it comes out on Sunday.
And I'm super excited the fact that it's a mini series because I feel like, this book is a chonker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
1,000 pages.
They're going to be able to get so many more of the details in that you can't do if it's a 2-hour movie.
Absolutely not. This one is filled with characters that are constantly cut or mashed together, and it is a fantastic book. I know it's one of your favorite books of all time. I read it over the course of like 2 years because it really does need dedicated time to read. But man, are the adaptations of this great. And the men in my life love the original movie or the most recent movie, the one that Henry Cavill was in. So I know that
I like
they're
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill is Henry Cavill, you know. But this was like before he was Henry Cavill.
Yeah, he was a baby.
A baby. But we are all very excited to watch this one. I'm going to tell you what I'm not excited about, though. And that is the book that is on everybody's radar that is being adapted. And it's coming out this week. I don't even want to say the name.
Project Hail Mary.
That's the one. I don't mess with space.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't like space. I don't like the ocean.
Yeah, see, that's weird to me. Like, I love the ocean. Like, I wrote a kid's book about the ocean. When I was in second grade, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to live on a submarine.
Okay, can we back up to that fact that you wrote a book?
I did. I illustrated one. It was about Eugene Clark. She made me want to study sharks.
So does that mean that this is going to be my bookmark next week?
You don't need to have it as your bookmark next week because I have got The Adventures of Eugene Clark right here. Look at this. Look, you guys. Look.
Wait. No, wait. Can I just... Oh.
Was quite the illustrator.
Oh God. But how old were you?
I was in second grade.
Oh my God. This is really cute. I'm not sure what this picture is.
That was me diving with my shark.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
Apparently we went to find Zeus. So
you loved mythology even back then?
I did. I loved mythology and I love like the ocean, but I don't actually want to be a marine biologist anymore. But space, to me, it's like, I don't know. There's like, I was scarred by Apollo 13.
Okay.
I don't think we're supposed to be up there.
I know. I feel like space is having a moment in books. So it's not surprising to me that now is when they decided to make this, except it is starring Ryan Gosling.
I know. That would be the only thing that would get me to see it. But like, I don't think I can.
Like, even if you knew the ending?
If I know that it's all okay. No, I don't really.
All right.
I can watch books like Hidden Figures or like adaptations like Hidden Figures where it's about the work of space. Like, I appreciate all the scientists. I think it is very cool. I can watch like the like satellites go up and it's all very cool, the Mars rover, but like I do not think that people should be on like I don't think we're supposed to be out there. Okay. I just don't think we are, and I don't like it.
Legit, I respect it. because I'm not getting in a sub.
Which is weird to me. Like submarines, like we're good. We're good.
It's the same. Anything happens to that vehicle, that ship, and like you're goner. So nope. Like if it was a boat, I can swim. If I'm already underwater, I can't hold my breath that long.
But we've been going like underwater for like ever.
Not me.
I don't know. Submarines, I'm totally I'm down. I'm down with a submarine.
We know less about our ocean than we do about space.
I disagree 100%. Oh my God, we're getting so off topic. Okay, we're moving on. The Oscars were last night.
Oh, they were.
And Hamnet, well, specifically Jessie Buckley of Hamnet, took home a really big award.
She won the award for Best Actress, and she is the only Irish actor to do that. So it's a huge deal.
It is a really, really big deal for her. And obviously Hamnet was a book adaptation. So it kind of segues really perfectly actually into our plot twist of the week, because it is actually a novel about grief. Hamnet is about the loss of Shakespeare's child. So, and it was recommended by some listeners.
Liz and Tanya actually both recommended this to us. So great pick.
As we move into the plot twist, the reason that we chose grief novels as a reading challenge prompt for April was because last year, Jackie and I both read some absolutely incredible grief novels, many of which actually were romance novels that dealt with grief, which is not something you would normally think of together.
Right. And you would think that it's a little bit of an oxymoron, but it's actually not. They work so well together. And I should point out that not all the books that are on this list are incredibly sad. They obviously have a grief component to them, but some of them are funny.
A lot of them are funny. They're funny, or they're heartwarming, or they're romantic. It's always interesting to see how grief is portrayed in a novel and the different ways that every person experiences it and every character experiences it. But we do have some recommendations, and I think only one of them is really a tearjerker.
Yeah. I think it's one that we're going to be reading together.
That's right.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
Let's start with the lighter ones, lighter-ish, light adjacent. Let's start with the grief romance novel.
Okay, this is great. I have one, and it was actually recommended to us by a friend of ours, Meg, who read this book and after she had experienced some loss and felt like it really resonated with her. So this is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. And in this book, Clementine is grieving the loss of her late aunt. She's moved into her aunt's apartment. It is magical realism because somehow when she goes into the apartment, she is now 7 years in the past and she meets a man. And there's a little bit of romance and it is funny. And you're wondering, are they going to meet in the future? She kind of goes in and out of the apartment because she's, got to have her life. But she's not really sure if when she comes back, she's going to be in the present or she's going to be 7 years in the past. And it really deals with grief in a lovely way, like slowly getting over and very a natural way. It takes time.
Mine is also about the taking time of it all when it comes to grief. It's Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone, which I know you read too.
Love this book.
And Anne and Angie also recommended this, so I love it when we see eye to eye with our listeners. It is a story about a woman who is a temporary nanny to a single mother and her daughter, and she is going through the loss of her best friend who had a long-term illness and has passed away. And she is devastated by this loss, doesn't really want to get attached to anyone, which is why she only wants to be a temporary nanny. In the meantime, this family they live in a duplex in New York, and the upstairs neighbor is now the half-brother of the mom, who's been estranged from her. And he wants to reconnect with his sister and his niece. And he would like to make a deal with the nanny. I will help you get over your grief because I have gotten over mine, if you will help me reconnect with my family. And what happens is they form an adorable friendship first. It is a slow burn that gets very steamy, but it is just an absolutely lovely, lovely story of connection after grief.
And this was one of our best of the year. Last year, I legitimately remember where I was when I was reading this book. Very powerful. And again, it seems like grief and romance shouldn't go together, but they go together so well.
Other ones in this category that kept coming up when we asked you guys for recommendations were Finding Grace, which I loved, The Last Love Note, and Good Grief.
Those are great picks.
All great picks.
So now we also have some suggestions for grief novels. So these aren't necessarily romances. They could be fiction, historical fiction. Some of them are quite humorous. So what's your first pick?
Mine is Jonathan Trooper's This Is Where I Leave You, which was also recommended by listener Amy. And it's about Jewish Shiva. So if you're unfamiliar, Shiva is the time 7 days after someone has been buried where the family gathers in normally a common place. In this case, the dad has died, so they're in their family home with their mom. And over that 7 days, you kind of have to stick around, stay home, and people come and they share stories about your loved ones, and they really connect with you and help to get you the support you need while you're going through this horrible loss, especially in those initial really painful days. Well, this is a comedy, as odd as that may sound, but it was actually adapted, and Jason Bateman is the lead. But it's a comedy about these grown siblings that have moved back into their childhood home for this 1 week period of time with their mother as they're trying to figure out their life, reconnect as a family, and figure out what they're going to do with their dad's store.
So that's funny because mine is actually also a book about losing a parent, but what a surprise, mine's a magical realism.
I think you are very predictable.
I know.
If there is a book on a topic and there's a magical realism aspect, you're like, that's mine.
I love it because it provides just a certain amount of levity, or it takes you out of it so that it doesn't feel quite as heavy, which is probably why I love it. I chose One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serrell. And this is a story about a woman who was supposed to go with her mother to Italy. Her mother passes away before she's able to go, and so she decides to take the trip without her mom. When she gets there and she goes to the hotel, she realizes that she's checked into the hotel many years in the past when her mother was at this hotel, and she meets her mother as a person who is her own age, and they become friends. So it's this unbelievable story of her getting to know her mother after her mother has passed. I just loved it so much.
It's also set in Italy in the summertime. So Aperol, spritz it up and read this book on spring break.
Yes. And it's not too chunky. So it's the perfect one where you could pick it up, put it down, and you'll be able to finish it and you'll breeze right through it. It was a bestseller for a reason.
The other books recommended by our listeners, also many of them are bestsellers. We've got Broken Country.
Obviously.
After Annie.
Okay.
And The Guncle, which is another really good spring break read.
It is.
Now we get into our book club picks. And it's really exciting because this month we have 2 of them.
I'm so excited.
Mine is first. It is for our private book club for our members. And it is probably the only real tearjerker on this list. I apologize in advance. You will be sobbing with this one.
I keep getting teary just when you tell us what the book's about. And we've talked about it numerous times, and I get teary every time.
It's The 100 Years of Lenni and Margot by Marianne Cronin. And it is about 2 women in a hospital. One is a 17-year-old girl, and one is an 83-year-old woman. And they both have disease that make them terminal patients. And in order to sort of deal with the grief of losing their life and kind of accepting this fact, they join an art class that's being held in the hospital. And they buddy up and decide that they're going to paint a picture for every year of their collective life. And so you get to touch base with them on different memories and stories about their life along the way. They form this incredible bond, and it is heartbreaking. You go in knowing this is a terminal illness. And
in a child too.
In a child. And it is, you're gonna be sad. Like, you are gonna be sad. But it is a beautiful story that reminds you of the connections that we can play with people in their life, no matter for how short you think or what point in their life. Like, human connection matters so much. And just the stories of what both of these women have gone through, like, it's wonderful.
I can't wait to read this one. And I think sometimes, especially if you know that it's going to be a sad book, you can go in and absorb everything that the book has to give you, because sometimes we need a good cry.
We do. And the book club for this is going to be on a Sunday because Marianne lives abroad. It's going to be Sunday, April 26th at 2:30.
And I can't wait to read it. I've been saving this book. I haven't read it yet.
Well, I haven't read our public book club book.
So that's right. We once a year have a public book club. And what we do is we announce it. We let you register. And don't worry, if you cannot attend, it will be recorded and you can watch it after. So the book is Dandelion is Dead by Rosie Storey.
It was our bookmark earlier in the year.
And I'm so excited because I actually don't have to tell you about it, because Rosie is going to tell you all about her book.
Hi, Rosie. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Sure. So in Dandelion is Dead, we meet Poppy, who's 37, and she's grieving her beloved older sister and feeling a little bit lost in life. And in a moment of loneliness, she goes into her sister Dandelion's dating app and replies to a message from a stranger called Jake. And she decides to meet up with him on what would have been Dandelion's 40th birthday. And she thinks she'll do it for one night only, as a precarious dare and a way to feel close to her sister. Only when she meets him, they have thrilling chemistry and her lies begin to spiral.
Oh, that is such a good description of it. I love it.
So what was your inspiration for writing this, and why did you choose to write a book about grief?
My inspiration really was personal authenticity. I was thinking a lot about that moment as you approach midlife, or really just when you're a grown up and you think, I didn't really think life was going to look like this when I was young. And so I have two people, Poppy and Jake, who are really trying to figure out how to lead their one precious life. I've got Jake, who's 40. He's a divorced dad. He cheated on his ex. He's not feeling great about himself. He wants to find love. And I've got Poppy, who's also questioning her relationship. She's feeling a bit stagnant in her career. And of course, she's lost her beloved older sister. So I wanted to work with them to help them figure out life.
Did you always know that there was going to be this big grief component?
I always knew that I was going to have grief at the center of it. It's such a huge part for so many of us, and it's such a huge thing for us to deal with. And it's really a way that Poppy is forced to take hold of the beauty of her own life through losing her beloved sister.
I loved it so much. I had so many questions. I don't know if you saw, we were joking around about the fact that, like, in a way, you should be like, okay, here's this girl. She's totally catfishing this guy, right? But you totally understand why she's doing it, and you love her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a testament to the way that you wrote it, because they're all very imperfect characters.
Yeah.
And they felt very authentic, very real. And so you love them anyway, like with their flaws, like because of their flaws, as opposed to like some people that you're like, oh, they're just horrible. And I don't like them.
With Poppy and Jake, they're good people who do bad things, and there's deception, but they never set out intending to deceive. It spirals and it all goes out of control.
Is there anything else you want to tell readers before they pick up the book that you want them to know about?
I guess when I think of Dandelion is Dead, I think of it as a story of love and lust and grief, but really it's a story about finding hope through the messiness of life.
So the book club for this is going to be April 28th at 11 a.m. Rosie is also in England, so that's why we're having it a little earlier in the day. We can't have it at 8 o'clock at night. It will be 3 o'clock in the morning for her. If you want to see it, again, we will provide the link. You can register, and if you can't be there in person, then with the link, you can absolutely watch it after.
This is one book that I personally am going to be taking with me on my spring break reading. It's going right into my suitcase. I got my copy this week. I cannot wait to read it and then discuss it with Rosie. In that interview, she is a doll.
She is just so sweet. I cannot wait to have a conversation with her about it.
I have like a little girl crush on her. Like, I think that she looks like Kate Middleton. And when she first popped on and started talking, I was like, Princess, is that you? Like, I literally think she looks like Kate Middleton.
I know, it was so funny. You couldn't talk.
I was a little bit starstruck. Like, I'm convinced that she's Princess Kate in disguise.
But she's also the nicest person. She is so sweet. We loved having that little brief conversation with her, and I can't wait to really delve into this book with her.
Well, can I recommend a book for you for spring break?
Oh, please.
My bookmark pick is The House of Hidden Letters by Izzy Bloom. It's perfect for spring break reading because of its setting. It's Greece, baby. We are in an island in Greece, and we're buying a villa for $1.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. So essentially, this woman who is looking to escape her abusive marriage. Trigger warning for that. I'm telling you up front.
How graphic is it?
Not particularly graphic, but there are scenes that could be triggering if this is something that is upsetting to you.
Okay.
She's looking to escape her life, and so she enters a lottery to buy a Grecian villa for $1 with the plan that you have to stay there for 2 years and you have to pay for the restoration of these homes that haven't been occupied really since World War II. She wins. She heads over to this little Grecian island. There are 5 other houses that are going through the same thing. So she becomes friends with her neighbors. They're all kind of fixing up their homes. And during the restoration process, she finds a cache of hidden letters from World War II.
Wow.
And other things start popping up on different properties that are relating to what happened in World War II. It's a dual timeline story. So these letters actually take us back to World War II, and we get to find out what was happening on the island during the Nazi occupation.
Oh, that sounds so good. So it's current time and back.
That's right. It's
Okay.
current time and back.
Okay.
And it's just a phenomenal story that reminds me a lot of Under the Tuscan Sun for the present day portion, but also the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Society for the backwards portion, because you have to remember that these islands, when they were occupied by Nazis, the men on the islands were often off fighting at war. So there's like an island filled with women that has been inhabited by Nazi men. And there's some drama around that. So if you liked either of those two books or movies or both, because they're both adapted, you will actually really like this book that is on sale this week.
That sounds fantastic. This is an important question. Can I still buy a villa for $1?
When I go to Greece this summer, I will check it out for you.
Okay, so if the answer is yes, can I pay you back the $1 when you get back?
Yes. I will sign you up when I'm over there.
Or we can like split it, like 50 cents each.
I will pay 50 cents.
Oh my God. And we could totally, yes.
We're shaking on it. We're going. We're buying a home in Greece together.
Beyond the Bookends and the Red Carpet Report will now be broadcast live from Greece.
For real, for real. Like, how do we make this happen?
I don't know. Put your name in for the lottery.
Okay. I mean, our kids have to graduate from college, but like, I'm in.
I mean, really? Like, if we move there, then don't they get like cheaper free education? So next week, I'm really excited because we have a full author interview for our episode. And we are interviewing Allie Hoff-Kosick for her book, Too Blessed to Stress.
It's a really fun one for fans of Everyone is Lying to You by Joe Piazza, or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, or any sort of influencer culture. It is about a group of Christian influencers in a mega church right outside of Charleston.
So this is her debut novel.
Mm-hmm.
And it is already out. So if you have any questions for Allie about what it was like to write her debut novel or anything about the book, you can send us the messages and we will be happy to ask Allie.
I already read and really enjoyed this book, so I cannot wait to talk to Allie about it.
If you have been enjoying the Red Carpet Report, you could help us out a lot by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. It's completely free, but it really helps us to continue to make the content. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading.